It's time for the Bookie and the Bettor Show. If you're a sports fan, now it's time to play the odds and make every bet count. New episodes post every Thursday on your favorite streaming service. Now introducing Rob Kowalski, the Bookie, and Randy Wike, the Bettor.
Welcome to the Bookie and Bettor Show. I'm your host, Robert Kowalski.
And I'm Randy Wike, the Bettor.
Randy, it's our first video event of all time.
And I am so excited, Rob. It's opening week of the NFL season. Oh, and it's hard to believe, really, it's week 2 of college football.
I'm just really happy that we're able to present this because it's different, right? I'm not really going to say that I want to go out and present a show that's just going to be about making picks and, you know, who's going to be covering and who's not going to be covering. But bottom line is, Bookie and the Bettor Show is going to give you some really good analysis. What I like to really do is dig deep into what an injury could do specifically to a team's performance for a game, odds to win a division, which we're going to touch on, odds to win the conference or league championship, Super Bowl, and beyond. So, Randy, obviously, you know, here we are. It is week 1 of the NFL. Kansas City tonight. Right now, we opened them about 6.5 is about as high as I got before we got the news that Travis Kelce was improbable, maybe doubtful. What do you know about knee injuries?
Well, and again, they're not really saying. I believe it was a bone bruise. But again, is it Travis Kelce or is it Chris Jones? Is there some impact with Chris Jones not signing yet? And not playing tonight, obviously, in game 1, is that more of the story? But again, a bone bruise, what does a bone bruise say? Is it a contusion that you can't play?
Exactly. Well, I mean, we could go ahead and take a look at x-rays all we want. I'm sure they've already seen it. But the bottom line is if we're taking a look at what news actually did come out, they're bringing up practice players up to the active roster, specifically at a tight end position. Don't know if Travis Kelce's going to play.
And no question, the tight end is a big part of Kansas City's offense. Always has been with Andy Reid. So obviously that probably hurts Mahomes a little bit. But again, one player doesn't make or break a team.
Although, you're right. Just exactly when's the last time you saw a tight end move a point spread 2 points?
Been a long time.
He's that good.
You may have to go back to the Dave Casper days.
Casper Friendly Ghost.
Yes. Yes.
So, okay, look, obviously, you know, this one game obviously is going to start off our entire season. 4.5, some 4s, some 5s out there, really kind of the same to me in terms of what the point spread's looking at. Randy, I know that Patrick Mahomes has a ton of targets and he can make anybody into a superstar. Tony's going to be out there. I'm sure he's going to get targeted a ton tonight. I think Pacheco and McKinnon are going to get targeted a ton tonight. You think they're going to actually lose to Detroit tonight, who's fun to give up 30 points a game? And
again, I'm back to the defense. You know how I am. Defense wins championships. Can Goff really hurt this defense? The guy's the leading pass rusher the last couple of years.
Right.
I mean, he's demanding Chris Donald money and now Joey Bosa money, which we'll get into later. He's the best in the NFL at what he does, and he puts an impact on the quarterback. The score tonight could go well over 53.5.
That's the one thing I was hoping that you would touch on, and I think you're right. With the way the game flow projects, at least, regardless of whether Kelce's there or not, I think that you're going to see an awful lot of points scored. I think that the Lions did what they could to help themselves on the defensive interior. But I think we're going to see some real damage being produced from Kansas City from both McKinnon and Pacheco.
But again, the defending champs at home on opening night, you can't bet against them. I've still got to go with the Chiefs, but it might be a 44-41 game tonight.
44-41, that's 3.
Yep.
Sounds like a dog cover to me.
It might be. That's what I say. It could be, but I'm not going to go against the Chiefs.
Fair enough. Okay. You know, Randy, obviously there's so much happening, I want to go ahead and lay out to everybody what we're actually thinking here for the NFL season. Of course, we're deep in the heart of, summer into fall. Baseball is something, of course, we're going to touch on, but Week 1, I wanted to go ahead and just lay it out there for everybody. Let's take a look at these divisions. right? In the NFL, obviously, we're going to have an awful lot of future discussion, outrights to win the division. So why don't we go ahead and just take a look really quickly here. Odds to win the division here at the book at Baldini's, Randy.
Now, I do want to add something, Rob, on this.
Go ahead.
If you look at the last 2 years specifically, each year 7 different teams made the playoffs. So keep that in mind. What you noticed last year, what you've seen last year, you may have 7 new teams this year getting into that playoff scene. So just think about that.
I'll be glad to bring that up as we go over from each division to each. AFC East, Randy. The Patriots, 8-1. Dolphins at 3. The Jets plus 240. The Buffalo Bills plus 120. We have for the division.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not going with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in the AFC. I'm still up there on Buffalo. I do think that the Patriots are going to have a better year, but I really can't. I can't give up. I'm not a Miami fan right now with that defense. I've got to go Buffalo in the AFC East.
I'm allowing you 2 pieces of chalk. You just ate one.
Okay.
AFC North, Randy. Pittsburgh at plus 475. The Browns plus 375. Baltimore Ravens 2.25. And the Bengals plus 140. This is as tight a division number as I could possibly make. Who wins this one?
Well, and I know we'll get into this later. I have 2 coming out of this division for the playoffs. But I am definitely on the Ravens with a healthy Lamar, Odell Beckham, some of the guys that they picked up on the defensive side of the ball. But I'll tell you what, watch out for Tomlin.
Baltimore plus 225, Randy. Excellent. So, AFC South. Houston Texans. Maybe we can talk about them not being the worst team in the league. But
turn out the lights, party's over. That's an old Don Meredith song from Monday Night Football. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Burgess Meredith?
No,
I know him.
Don Meredith.
8-1 to win the division, not to win the conference. Colts 6-1. Titans plus 320. The Jacksonville Jaguars, talking about it, one division that was as tight as I can make it. This one seems to be already written in stone. Jaguars minus 160. Going to take someone else?
Well, no, as much as I like the Titans style, I got to lock on to Jacksonville as well.
Okay. Onwards to the AFC West. Randy, this one I really wanted to make as big a number as I could on the Nevada franchise down south. Raiders 13-1 to win the division. Broncos plus 550. The Chargers 3-1, and the Chiefs minus 160.
Well, and here again, I would hype on those Raiders a little bit because I think they're going to be improved offensively. But how many games can you win 38-35? Because you're not going to score 38 every week. I'm afraid of that Raiders defense. I think you could sit Mahomes 7 games. They still win this division.
Excellent. I'm not going to bite you back on that. I completely agree. I think the Chargers are going to be improved. I think they'll have a far better offensive year. Of course, injuries, something that we talk about every single time as long as they stay healthy. But yeah, it'll be difficult. It'll be difficult to go ahead and dethrone the Super Bowl champs just in the division alone. NFC time. To the East. Commanders 12-1. The Giants 7-1. Dallas Cowboys plus 180, and the Eagles minus 120, Randy.
Well, I'm going on a limb right now. This will be the best division in pro football. The Commanders, I'm telling you, they are much improved, and they were great on the defensive side of the ball last year.
Right.
They're going to be much improved. So they're going to give some teams a tough time, especially at home. I think the Giants, I love their coach. I love the aspect that he tangles with these guys, that they can win every game. They're going to be improved. And, of course, we know where the Eagles are. But my surprise of the East.
Come on, don't do it.
Yes.
Randy, I love you. Don't do it.
I love all my exes in Texas, and I just wrote that one. But Dallas Cowboys, watch out.
It's the last time they won the NFC.
I'm telling you right now, the defensive side of the ball, again, Randy Wike, defense wins championships, are as good as any team in the NFL, if not better. And Dak has a little pressure now, don't forget. he's going to want to show the world that the pickup that Jerry made with Trey Lance is going to backfire. I like the Cowboys.
I could only provide the number, Randy.
Okay.
I'm not here to battle you.
Okay.
These are your picks. NFC North. Green Bay Packers 4-1. The Bears 4-1. The Vikings plus 280 and the Lions plus 130. Another very, very tight division, Randy.
Well, and again, as we talk about playoffs, my surprise play of the year is the Detroit Lions winning this division.
I don't know how many people actually think that they're going to be a surprise this year. I thought that they were really jumping out on a limb, picking up Jamar Gibbs, but I think this guy's going to be really good. He potentially could be Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely. And look how many close games they had last year. Mm-hmm. And again, they knocked the Packers out. This team is for real. And again, you talk about a coach between the Giants coach and the Lions coach. I love his energy level. And I'm telling you, with the NFL, that's what you need. He's got these guys believing. That's where I'm going with him. I believe.
Yeah, let's see how much belief you have here in the NFC South. To win the division, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 8-1. Panthers 4-1. Falcons plus 220 and the Saints plus 110, Randy. Upset here?
Is Tom Brady playing at 52?
Can't say he won't.
Okay, well, he would have been, 46 years? He's not playing. Tampa Bay's out. This is going to be a tough one. And I don't know. It's that one, I haven't really made my mind. Give me those odds one more time.
So we're going to go ahead and discount Tampa. Carolina's 4-1.
Yeah, I kind of like Carolina.
Falcons plus 220 and the Saints plus 110.
Now, the Falcons can score. But again, how many points are they going to give up? I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to pick the Atlanta Falcons.
Not so much a limb. If I had to make one position, I think that they would be more than fair odds to win this division. I think that they're much improved. I think Bijan Robinson, we talked about Jahmyr Gibbs. Bijan Robinson's probably the odds-on favorite.
The Rookie of the Year, yeah.
I do too.
Yes.
So I do like that pick there. Atlanta for Randy to win the division in the NFC South. NFC West, Randy. Oh, Arizona, what have you done? We know going in that they weren't going to have a good year. 25-1, by the way, to win the division. I could probably add a 0, and I don't think I'd have a buyer.
Well, and the big question I had this week, okay, now I'm on the opposite side. You name your quarterback a captain, and he's not playing. Is he going to play this weekend?
Well, of course not.
So you name a quarterback as a team captain that's not playing. Now, the Cardinals have done some weird things. Whether or not you hear the rumor all through the league. I was reading the story again yesterday. They're going to tank the season to get the number 1 play for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Okay. But you make a team captain a guy that's not even playing. And one that I might add doesn't like to practice or read the playbook. I'm just asking that question.
Kyler Murray is as immensely talented a quarterback as there probably could be in the NFL. He is physically unable to perform. That's why he's on that list. Funny, Caleb Williams and his camp, I guess he has a camp, already said that, I could stay another year. I could hang out here at USC. Things are pretty cool. I'm kind of popular. I'm getting some name, image, and likeness money. So
a little bit.
Maybe if Arizona tanks and they end up with that number 1 pick and they say, you know what, we're going to take Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams is going to say, you know what, maybe I'm just going to stay another year.
I think the Cardinals are going to give up a lot of points.
Randy, we never came up to your pick. The Rams, 9-1. The Seahawks plus 220. The 49ers minus 175.
Well, I think the situation with the 49ers quarterback situation with Sam Darnold now coming in, obviously Brock, especially this first week, you don't know really what you're going to get.
Right.
49ers scare me, but I'm sticking with the 49ers, although I think Seattle and Pete Carroll are going to give them a tussle.
They have improved offensively. They'll be as good as they could be defensively as well. I just really think that if you look at San Francisco's roster up and down, I might be crazy. I actually think that Brandon Ayuk might actually even be a better wide receiver. He might be the wide receiver one on that team.
And he's from Reno. There you go. But again, the 49ers defense with obviously Bosa back in the mix and Warner, it's as good as any in the NFL. I put them right there with the Cowboys this year. I really do. I think the Eagles, with some of the people they lost, we're going to be surprised at their defense. Yep. The 49ers have the defense. I think now you're on the other side of the ball again where they were at last year. What can the offense do for us? Yeah. And I think that's going to be the question.
Okay, fair enough. So those are our division breakdowns for this coming football season. Randy, obviously, look, any wild card can come out and jump and make a run. But you just gave us your division picks here. In the AFC, amongst those, or perhaps someone else, who would you choose as a AFC champion right now?
Well, and again, I'm still high on the Chiefs, obviously. You know how I feel about this. But I have been reading the hype on the Baltimore Ravens. And I can't remember if you or somebody a few weeks ago was telling me, I'm telling you, this Baltimore Ravens team, look out. If they stay healthy, they can beat anybody in the league.
I think that's going to be a key factor for any franchise any year.
Right.
And we'll be touching on that all season long here on the Bookie and the Bettor show. But to be honest, you're absolutely right. The Baltimore Ravens have really done wonders in the offseason. Of course, the most important thing was to make sure that you go ahead and re-sign Lamar Jackson, which they did. He's there. There's no more questions about it. Your QB1 is taken care of. They surrounded him with even more talent. Of course, Mark Andrews is always going to be grabbing up a bulk of the throws towards him. Defensively, they're always stalwart.
They added a couple of defensive backs, a linebacker. Depth.
Yeah.
They picked up a little depth for this year as well.
A good pick. Obviously, you're giving a little bit of value here as well. At the book of Baldini's, the odds for the Baltimore Ravens to win the AFC is about 9-1 right now. So nice little shot there. How about on the other side from the NFC, Randy? Don't do it. I see what you're about to do. Randy.
I am really going with, and Jerry, hear me out here. Do not let me down.
No.
I believe in this defense, and I believe in Dak Prescott. And I add a little fuel came to the fire with the pickup of Trey Lance. I really believe that we're going to see a much improved Dak because of that pressure. And mentally, I think that's why, or psychologically, however you want to say it, that's why Jerry did it. I believe this is going to push Dak. And the Cowboys, who have been improved, let's face it, the last 2 years, they could have been there.
Right.
The play they didn't get off against the 49, little things that I can bring back. But I'm telling you, with Dak mentally ready to go and the talent that he's got, Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
Take a deep sigh and pause on that note, Randy. So, thank you for that. Obviously, that's our breakdown here at the Bookie and Bettor show. We'd like to go ahead and offer a little bit more than just your day-to-day breakdown of a game. So this is a little bit of more of an outright look to see who's going to win the division. Randy's AFC and NFC contenders, who's going to be there.
And remember, 2 years in a row now. 2 years in a row, 7 different teams have made it the following year to the playoffs. Think about that.
It's a league of parity.
There you go.
That's what I want. Helps me, at least.
That's right.
Randy, at the Book of Baldini's, there's this, everyone loves a good parlay card, right? Everyone loves to fill out and take a shot because it's an opportunity to, lay a little to, win a nice little chunk. So there's a card. It's back again. This Be Rewarded card, Randy. You see anything else like it?
It's the best in town. And again, you know how I am. I hit every book in town. This card is the only card in town and in a state that I'm aware of. You can lose one and still win. And again, we already have the best payoff odds. Again, I was comparing the competition here in town, Rob. Just for instance, a 3 for 3, Baldini's pays 7 for 1. Our competition pays 5.5 for 1. A 4-teamer, which a lot of players, myself included, love 4-team parlays. We're 13.5 for 1, and they're 12 for 1.
All right, but wait a second. Didn't perhaps Baldini's take advantage of that and cut you off on the the consolation card, right? So the consolation is the whole thing on this card. You can get paid on going.
Our odds are still the same as a regular parlay card. Unbelievable.
How much?
And I was looking today. Now here's a big one that again Randy Wike gets into. A 6 for 6. Our competition is 44 for 1. Our B reward card is 46 for 1. So a 7-team regular parlay card is 89 for 1. Baldini's is 90 for 1. Why would you play anywhere else? And keep in mind, you can lose 1.
Right. So you lose 1.
You get a consolation
most of the time you're taking and you're flicking it right in the garbage.
Yeah, or
Here.
with Randy Wike, I save them on the wall so I remember what dumb mistakes I made.
Just feel that pain all over again.
That pain. But yeah, really, it's the best deal in town. And again, just looking at the regular parlay card that we have versus the competition, Baldini's is far better. And then, again, looking at the bonus card, even with the higher pays, we don't change them, and we're better than our competition on a regular card. So it is the best deal in town.
So the card's already printed. Obviously, these cards are available Thursday during the football season, about 10 o'clock in the morning, I think, right, Randy? So when they hit the counter, so they're fresh, printed in-house.
Well, and again, one little thing, and we did kind of tie in on it. You can see Baldini's is there on my right side, and they're highlighted versus our competition. I think that's all you need to say. Why play anywhere else?
Find that all over town, that's for sure.
They're all over town. We're in almost every bar location and restaurant location in Reno Sparks. So, again, pick one up and then come in and check us out.
So let's go and offer our and by the way, I just realized that was horrific audio content. So for all of you listening at home instead of watching, I apologize for Randy showing a visual of a parlay card and the current odds. But these things happen, Randy. It's okay.
I get excited. I get excited during week one.
The parlay cards are available Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning during the football season. Come on by to the counter. Of course, they'll be right there for you. Randy, so as we go over the hill and start rolling down, obviously, I want to go ahead and leave our listeners with a bit of information in regards to, you've been doing this for a couple of hours now. I think that's why you're here with me, because you have a little bit of an angle. So 2 last little bit segments here that I'd like to talk about is first, a point spread and or a total. The one that jumps out for you in week 1 would be which?
Well, and again, here I am. I love the Packers as an upset against Chicago. I really do think the Packers are still going to be a decent team. That one grabs me as an underdog. In the NFL this week, you could take a bunch of underdogs. I like that one. I like the Commanders to destroy the Cardinals, who we were talking about earlier, at home. The dog plays that I really like are the Jets, believe it or not, on Monday night. I like the Giants to upset the Cowboys in week 1, even though I got the Cowboys. I know I got the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, but I have an upset in week 1. This is just Randy Wike again.
I'm so confused.
This is the betting strategy that I have. And then I think the surprise play of the week is the Patriots upsetting the Eagles.
All right, so
in Foxborough.
So to review, and of course these are numbers. I don't give out, a line here, and obviously you'll be watching this. It'll be close to kickoff here Thursday night. But Green Bay, they were as high as 2.5. That number sailed a long time ago. The Bears are a 1-point favorite right now. Washington, a 7-point favorite. That really hasn't changed much. There was 7.5 for a little bit. Looked like that was the ceiling, so it's back down to 7. Randy, you touched on both New York teams. The Dallas Cowboys are on the road Sunday Night Football. This is going to be a 3.5. Some places 3. Bookie Baldini is a 3.5-point favorite for Dallas. You're taking the New York Giants there. The Jets on Monday night. Aaron Rodgers, first home game.
The hype is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, game. So funny you went the other way on it. Buffalo opened 1.5, climbed to 2. Current number is 2.5. So that's what I'm going to stick to you. 2.5 is going to be your number there, as we'll take a look at that. I think you touched on one other. Yes, it was the Eagles game. That one was really high. We opened that one up very, very high. It was 5.5, got bet down to 4.5, 4, and now 3.5. So sorry, Randy, I wish I could give you a higher number, but you're going to get the 3.5 as we go to post.
I just believe, and again, Belichick, you got to still consider him the best. They were mediocre on offense, if you can even classify them as mediocre last year.
Yeah.
They're going to be much better with Mac Jones at quarterback. Defense is still improved.
And I think that's what you said to me. You said that their defense might be one of his better defensive cores he's ever had.
Yes. And so I do like them at home. And again, week 1 of the NFL season, I tend to favor a lot of the home teams. Because let's face it, you want to get off to a good start. You got big crowds. And again, some of these places, especially the big metro markets, the hype is unbelievable.
Right.
And I think that has to be worth 2 or 3 points.
This is why my Power Ranks book is always written in pencil in week 1 and the preseason. An awful lot will change when we do this again next week, Randy. Randy, so those are your picks against the spread. Now, of course, what I want to do is always end it with something where we know is a very popular pool that everyone loves to enter. We want to go ahead and just make one team to survive. And now I'm going to be tracking you. I'm going to go ahead and put these up on the board as we go. Don't want to go and limit you to one. Let's go ahead and just, for the record, have you make 2 selections. Now, remember, you make these picks. All they have to do is win, and that's it. You'll never be able to pick them again for the rest of the regular season. So, 2 picks to absolutely win, to survive and move on. Who'd they be?
Well, and I think you obviously know where I'm going. Again, I just mentioned the home teams, especially in week 1.
Right.
I'm going Commanders and Vikings this week in week 1 as my 2 teams.
Definitely can't disagree with you on the Commanders. I actually had several people come to me and say they're simply going to just bet against Arizona every single week. And then figure things out as they go, towards the rest. I can't really fault them for that. I already went ahead and put a number on Arizona and actually every team against the spread. Randy, the only time they're not an underdog this year is the bye week.
Well, and you know what? I'm looking at week 1, and I'm talking this week, and I'm thinking, Colt McCoy. They don't have Colt McCoy anymore. Who is the backup quarterback?
I'm pretty sure it's Dobbs, but I'm not really confident in anyone that they're throwing out.
And I'll tell you, the Commanders are tough on D.
They will be. They will
and,
be. This will be a feast for them without a doubt. And then you also hit on the Vikings. So Minnesota, of course, the hosts in this game, and they're going to be, they were 6 to 5-point favorite right now. But again, not concerned about the point spread. Tampa Bay coming into Minnesota.
Right.
Be a tough one.
Right.
Minnesota.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. That's for the Cardinals. I'm going to be singing that a lot this year, I think.
This better be a good segment, Randy. I really want you to survive for a while.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, my voice is still in good shape. It's week 1.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of The Bookie and the Bettor. Randy, it's always a pleasure and honor to be here with you.
Nice to be here.
And thank you so much. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you for listening to The Bookie and the Bettor Show. New episodes post every Thursday on your favorite streaming service.